Hello, I'm here in our, I guess this is a hotel, motel technically, in Denver, and May 12th. So we're looking at Psalms chapter 12. And this reminds me of a little bit of what's going on politically these days. The very last verse, and it's a short psalm, only I think 8 verses. It talks about all those wicked people brag about what they do and how the wicked are flourishing. You really go back to Psalm chapter 9, and we see the beginning of how the wicked seem to flourish. And what is it with the wicked and ruling? Now, I'm not saying all of our rulers are wicked. I don't want you to get that impression at all. But there are wicked people in ruling ways, and maybe in governorship, as a senate, whether state or nationally. They could be as aides for a president, even could be a president. And I'm not poking at anyone in particular. I'm just saying that sometimes in leadership, wicked people prevail, and there's a proverb that talks about that as well, that the wicked rise to the top, the righteous, kind of hide out. And that's what's happening in Psalm 12. We go back to Psalm 9 and 10 and 11, and we see the uprising of the wicked and the complaint that the psalmist has. Why is a wicked ruling? Why are the wicked successful? Why are they always getting the good jobs? Why do they have the money? Why do they have the power and the control? I think in part it has to do with the wicked aren't terribly humble. The wicked are not very hospitable, at least to the lower class people, and they aren't terribly concerned about the poor. They're really self-focused about making a lot of money and gaining power, and you don't do that by catering to the needy or helping out the poor or being focused on justice, what is right. That's not where the wicked get their power. But here we find in Psalm 12 that the psalmist recognizes the righteous are fleeing. They're just disappearing. It's, oh man, what's the deal? Where do they go? And everyone's lying. No one's telling the truth. What's going on? In fact, God just cut their tongues out. I'm tired of hearing it. And then he recognizes God's word is like silver refined by the fire at very hot temperature. It is pure, it is unchanging, it is untainted. That's God's word. And I would like to stick with that. God's word is untainted. God's word is pure. God's word is something to stand on, something to rest on. God's word is something to put our hope in. And that, folks, that is what we need to focus on. I realize the world goes crazy sometimes. We don't understand what's really going on. We don't know why some people act the way they do, but we do know that not all people agree about the coronavirus. Not all people believe about the leadership of our nation in 2020. And not all people believe about leaderships of the past either. Nor will they in the future. That's just the way people are. And we have our belief systems and our ways of accepting whether a person is good or bad, whether it be in leadership or otherwise. But we need to recognize, I think this is one thing that's very important for us at all times. And the psalmist recognizes that God's word is pure. It's untainted. It's been so under fire, that all the impurities have been burned out. God's word is like precious silver that has been purified. And the Psalms are part of God's word. And so are the Proverbs, so is Exodus and Deuteronomy, and so are all of the Old Testament books, and so are the New Testament books. The Psalms have some great teachings for us that we need to take to heart, and recognize that the psalmist is going through very much times like we go through, struggling with life, and disappointed when they see the righteous disappear, and really disappointed when people just lie all the time. And that's hard to see, hard to watch, hard to swallow, but we have to learn a way to live with that, live in it, not be okay with it, but to rest on God's word and find security in not what we say, but in what God has for us now and in the future. So thank you, and thank you, Brother Terry, for popping in. I hope to see everyone speaking again from Denver, Colorado. I will pop in tomorrow at the same Bat channel, and we'll talk about Psalm 13. God bless and have a great day.